like what I was always taught is if you do your thumb and your pinky and you put it right on your chin, that's where your microphone should
Okay.
sit.
Okay.
Now, some microphones have less gain, so you got to go a little quicker. Some microphones have more gain. You can get away with a little farther away, but the average is about like that.
So you have
You
to
know,
keep tweaking it. Like if they're doing, especially if they're moving around, if they're like holy rollers, like, rolling down the hill, whatever. I mean, you got to be like on that, right? You can't be like,
yeah.
oh, yeah, I'm going to just set it to X and then I'm going to leave, have the donut, coffee, come back. No, bro, the whole sanctuary will be like burned to the ground.
Well, exactly. I mean, you have some dynamic speakers who, oh, this is Chewy, by the way. Chewy is just popped up to say hello.
I got a cat, so I don't know what she's doing.
um,
It's so
you've got
funny,
some
dude.
people that are dynamic speakers, and so they'll talk really quiet and then they'll get really loud. And if they're wearing either a lav like me or they're wearing, like a countryman microphone or some kind of a face microphone, typically you will have to, we call it riding the fader. You have to ride the fader. So when they start going quiet, you got to boost it up a little bit,
Mm,
but then you got to be on your toes because at any moment they could decide that they need to really blast out a point. And so you got to be ready to pull it
yeah.
back, you know?
Especially if I don't know if that I'm thinking the South, it's gonna be different than other
Yeah.
parts of the, like,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Your
I mean
hellfire and brimstone type preachers
I mean,
versus
it's
your
coming down
standard.
hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like Dubai. It's coming down hard.
Right? So, but that's the kind of stuff that it's stuff that you have to know, but it's also learning to use an EQ so that if you're getting feedback, you have to find where the feedback's coming from, and then you need to lower that frequency in order to get out of that feedback if it's high end feedback, or you need to raise the frequency if it's low end feedback. You've got to know how to find that stuff and how to tweak it in order to try to avoid that.
Wow.
And not a lot of people who run sound at your typical church, they're not trained that well. They are a body to fill the seat. And again, not a bad thing, but literally a couple hours with these people
Yeah.
to give them some basic tools can make all the difference in
Yeah.
the world.